What's up, Keep Pounding crew? We're back today with another video. Keep pounding. Today's topic is day 7 of training camp. If you like the video, if you like the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below, and let's get into it. Now, we're going to start with the elephant in the room, the big fight that happened today between Troy Pride Jr. and Robbie Anderson. Now, there were some people on ESPN radio talking about fights at training camp, and do you encourage it? Do you discourage it? What are your thoughts on it? I want to hear that in the comments below. Personally, I've been kind of disappointed with Troy Pride Jr. over the past three years or so with his coverage. If he fixes that, it's not a problem. And you're going to have fights in training camp. It's going to happen, But as Matt Rule says, there's consequences. So I believe that's the right way to handle that. As a head coach, I think he did great. Well done. You take the 15-yard penalty and you move on. I say you make him do laps. That's for starters. Of course, I'm a little bit more gung-ho about stuff like that than some of these coaches are. But let's get into some of these notes here and what happened today. This was the first day that I've seen them actually do real warm-up stretches, for a good 15 to 20 minutes. And I saw these same warm-up stretches back in 2019 when Ron Rivera was trying to implement the nutritional and new exercise plan that would try to keep these guys more healthy, after all these injuries. So I'm wondering if they are starting to take that a little bit more seriously after Keith Kirkwood's concussion. And I got my answer in the form of the padding on the helmets. It was optional, according to Matt Rule. And some of these guys took that a little bit seriously after that injury, after the concussion. And I think that's a great move. You want to protect the head. You want to protect the neck. Absolutely vital parts of the body, especially in football. And I definitely like that. Now, another thing I liked that I wanted to point out was the peanut punch drill, where you're punching the ball out. And this was started by Peanut Tillman, Charles Tillman, and we all know who he is. If you're not familiar with him, go look him up. He was famous for these punch out in turnovers from running backs, from wide receivers, tight ends, you name it. This dude was just good at it, at creating turnovers. And I'm very, very happy to see that drill implemented in every training camp now that we've done since then. As far as I'm concerned, Brian Burns looked good in that drill. I thought, he's the one that stood out to me. Yeah, he's a little bit more aggressive when it comes to turnovers. And you can tell. You watched him last year. So, Troy Pride Jr. got burned a lot today. But he also made some decent coverage plays as well. So, I'm not ready to burn bridges with him just yet, but I don't know. I'm on the fringe with him. I want to see him succeed, but at the same time, those plays where he just gets burned, just on a skill wise level, just did not make me happy at all. So I would say he's improving is kind of a stretch at this point, but we'll see. We'll see. Same with Dante Jackson. I want to say that they're both improving, but that's kind of a stretch. Yeah, I saw some good coverage from 35 out there. 35 looked good. I did see a holding, which was not thrilling to me. During the one-on-ones, with Sam Darnold throwing it. Robbie had a nice catch. Yeah, we had a couple of defensive players making some good plays. The lines look solid. I want to say that right now. As far as run blocking and pass blocking. But again, it's early. We need to see them in fan day to see, are those lines going to hold up? And that's going to be kind of a game type environment. So we'll see how they hold up. I did see one really nice run block by Trimble. So we'll continue to keep an eye on him. There was good protection throughout the entire day. With a really, really good D-line push. So that's encouraging for the offensive line. I would like to see these quarterbacks not take up that luxury situation where they just check it down, and they just know that it's there. That's the thing. They're not getting outside of their comfort zone that much, and that concerns me a little bit, especially with PJ, with the accuracy. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But, a good chunk of Sam Darnold's throws were checkdowns and dump-offs, to Christian McCaffrey, to DJ Moore in medium coverage. And although he did throw some deep ones as well. So, it's something to keep an eye on. Is Sam more comfortable with the dump off, or is he willing to take those risks and start throwing it down the field a little bit more? We'll see. I'm not. This is around the time where you start to see players come out of their comfort zones and start to do things that are not patterns like the first week. And likewise, with it being day 7, you should expect to see a lot of patterns present themselves. One such pattern was false starts. That has been a pattern since Monday. That I'm not thrilled with. And neither is Coach Rule. He didn't say anything in the presser about it, I don't think. But he did not look very pleased with that at all. And I did see 2 offensive linemen run some laps. Penalty laps. So, as a result of the false starts. Now, with the fight that happened, that marks now the third day in a row that the coach has stopped practice that I have been to. I can't speak for Monday, but this is the third day of the training camps that I've been to in a row where Matt Rule has stopped practice to speak to the players right in the middle of a drill, to calm them down, to get them to stop being way too aggressive. Now, here's the question I've got for everybody. What is the limit of how aggressive you want to get in training camp? What is the bar? Because you want them to be aggressive enough, that they're competing for spots, but you don't want to be too aggressive like TJ was yesterday. So where's the bar that you draw? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Now, I like that Brian Burns did get a bad pass forced by Sam Darnold in the 2-minute drills. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally getting to 2-minute drills. Yay! About time. We heard Teddy talking about how it wasn't done much last year, and now we're starting to see it in week 2 of training camp, and that makes me happy too, because that's one of the key things that I was looking for, out of week 2 and week 3 of training camp. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see all of these pieces put together that the coaches installed, the run game, the short pass, the, all of it up till now. Now you're starting to see, can these quarterbacks in offenses move the ball downfield against this tough, raunchy defense, which has shown themselves to be very, very good over the past week. So, of course, Sam Darnold did well. You had the goal line situations. You had the 10-yard line to 15-yard line situations where Sam Darnold was on target with almost every throw. He rolled out, found his target. They were there. Most of the time it was DJ. But, he did find Robbie once or twice, I believe. And, it worked out. So in comes PJ Walker. And here is where the discussion really begins. Because I've had a lot of questions about PJ Walker's accuracy. Now, as we all know, during the back together practice on Saturday night, he tried to throw it into a triple coverage, which did not work. He even overthrew the triple coverage and the wide receiver. So, is his technique, is his footwork, are his hips the reason for his inaccuracies? What I discovered today after watching him after the practice, and trying to diagnose what's going on, and this was without the line, without all the wide receivers, without all the bells and whistles. This guy was just throwing to a basic wide receiver, just running an out route, just messing around, just throwing an out route, completely calm, and he even overthrew him once. So I was looking at his footwork, and he got happy feet. And what do I mean by happy feet? What I mean is that he tried to toe tap twice before he set his feet. or he set his feet before he was ready to throw it on the more accurate passes. So with happy feet, you would go boom, 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 and then set your feet and throw it. You know, and then I saw where he wasn't completely turning, you know, turning into the throw and aiming his body, to where he wants that ball to go. And that's been a common theme for quarterbacks that are inaccurate. They don't have the mobility, and that's understandable. And I can understand, if you're wearing pads that can take away from the mobility a tad bit, but with DJ Moore out there, as a receiver, and PJ had a couple of reps where he was throwing to a couple of first stringers. It just wasn't there. I didn't see it. And this was before he put on the pads. So it had me concerned. It really, really did. So my thought is, plant your foot, throw it to your target. Sure enough, during the 2-minute drill, I was the only one that said anything. I don't know whether he heard me or not, but I said, plant your foot. Sure enough, the next two throws, he planted his foot. He didn't have happy feet, and he hit his targets twice. Dead on the money. He actually hit one deep, too. And I, honestly, to this very minute, I don't know whether he actually heard me or not, but whatever advice that coach gave him, or quarterback's coach gave him at that moment, if it wasn't me, bravo. Because, let's face it, that type of inaccuracy, when the coach is thinking about cutting the roster down to 2 quarterbacks, and PJ is in hot water, that's not looking too good for your future, PJ. So, especially under pressure, PJ has been okay, on deep passes before this, but now the inaccuracy is starting to settle in. And I think it's due to technique and a lack of mobility that he did not have in 19. So, yeah, maybe it's age setting in, maybe it's something else. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think it is? Because I've got questions galore on what's going on with him. Because he never used to be that inaccurate back in 19 and 20. So, again, my theory is the happy feet and him turning his body, the mobility. But I want to hear your theories. What do you think? As in 2-minute drills, this man did not get past 25 yards of progress and failed to convert the 4th down. And that's a major concern. You're talking about carrying 3 quarterbacks on the team, and this man can't even complete a 2-minute drill. I don't know, PJ. If you want to keep your job, man, as that number 3 quarterback, you got to convince Coach Rule to keep you on that 53. And today did not do it. I saw some better throws from him today, but not quite enough to convince me and I'm pretty sure not to convince Coach Rule either. So you guys be the judge. What do you think? Also, one thing I've also noticed is that the defensive tackles have done a really good job with run D, so I want to credit them. And I got some footage of the DBs and the DB coach, which I think you'll find very, very interesting. I really enjoyed watching this guy coach over there, in our section. So, in our area of the field, closest to us. So I think you'll get a lot out of that part right there. I think that was fun. And I've been watching those types of drills like every practice that I've been to. And I've wanted to get footage of it, and I finally did. So I'm very happy that that footage found its way to YouTube and to my channel. So if you enjoy that, go check that out, please. And go leave a like on that. Share it around if you feel inclined to do so. Share the channel around to anyone that you think might enjoy the channel. And one thing I would like to see happen in the next couple weeks is the linebackers have been very, very quiet. You haven't seen much of them. I've seen Perryman make a couple of plays. I've seen Shaq make a couple of plays, but that's pretty much been it. And it's been that one day. So I'd like to see them ramp it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And let's see what they've got. I want them to show that aggressiveness on coverage, on defensive plays. I'd like to be able to call out and praise a linebacker's number and name. So, show me something, guys. I've seen enough of the wide receivers. I've seen enough of the DBs. I've seen enough of the quarterbacks. Show me something. Because my focus is now going to be on the lines and the linebackers in the next in FanFest. So, let's see it. And it's also going to be on Troy Pride Jr., of course, and PJ Walker. As usual. So, until I see something new, these guys are going to be my primary objects of interest as far as position-wise. What are yours? I want to hear what you think in the comments. Who do you think I should check out? Who do you think I should keep an eye on? Let me know. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Rip 704, man. Incredible man. I only had a few interactions with him in chat in Big Cat's channel, but he was a really, really awesome guy, and I felt like I got to know him as a brother. So, my respect to Big Cat and the crew, and I really hope that everybody can find a way to keep going and keep pounding through this, man. Because it's rough. It's real rough. I lost a family member this year as well, so, that wound is still raw. So, I feel like every member of this fan base is like a brother or sister to me. Like family. So, when we lose one, it hurts, man. It hurts so much. You have no idea. And I know he was looking forward to seeing what we had this season and looking forward to being a part of meeting up with the Big Cat crew, in person. And I'm sorry that never happened. But, my condolences go out to the crew, to the family, to the fans, and this entire fan base as we mourn that loss of 704. Great guy, man. Just sucks. But I got that news as I just got done streaming, so it sucks, man. But you know, we'll find a way to get past this, and we have to keep pounding. We don't know anything else, you know? We got to keep pounding. And we got to live for him. So, hug your loved ones. Pound that fist to your brothers. We're going to keep pounding in his honor. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, keep pounding. Thank you for watching.